Hello, and welcome again to another episode of Learning Lounge by My Learning Venue. Today, we are putting two generations of teachers, one representing Gen Z and one representing the millennials. I'm Teacher Kent, and today we'll be having two generations of teacher in one room. Let's have Ma'am Jill, that will be representing millennials. Ma'am Jill,
Hello, good
good
day to you.
afternoon.
Is this Teacher Jill? Hi, everybody.
And also the one will be representing the Gen Z. We have here Ma'am Akia. Hi, Ma'am Akia. How
Hi,
are you?
everyone. Good afternoon.
First of all, I would like to thank you for your time and for your effort of being here. I know that you're very, very busy and you have a lot of things to do because it's Sunday, but you're able to spend your time here and give little amount of your time to share your experiences and your ideas here in our conversation this afternoon. So, are you ready? I prepared plenty of questions. So I guess and hopefully you're prepared to answer 100 questions this afternoon. So yeah, I know. So your background, I know that both of you are teachers in
Yes.
different generations. You, Ma'am Jill, you represent the millennials, and you, Ma'am Akia, you represent the Gen Z. So, do you think, you, Ma'am Jill, do you think there any difference between the teaching styles of you as millennial and Mama Kia as Gen Z? So you go first.
Okay. As a millennial, quite so, yes. There's some evident differences between the generations when it comes to teaching approach. One of it is absolutely the resources, because obviously we have, for the Gen Z, it's much more practical and convenient since they don't really need to leave their houses anymore sometimes. For students, since online is already a thing right now, in comparison before, where students and teachers actually need to go to school every day. So
Yes. How about you, Ma'am Akia? What's the difference between the teaching skills of the millennials and you teaching Gen Z?
Yeah. So I have observed and noticed some teachers from the Gen Z also at my school because currently I'm still a student. So one very noticeable behavior of Gen Z teachers is that mental health is really a big um responsibility and factor to them kay every mag-classmate kay naagid always ang mood check like
Yes.
that. So it is a very noticeable good siya. Especially kay napod may teachers na millennials. So mostly sa millennials teachers na mo is more on objective and also kanang both naman yun na teachers kay adopt sa technologies.
Yes.
However, the Gen Zs are more lenient to the mental health pod sa kwan kay they think they could relate much pod kay same or og generations and students. Yeah. So that's one thing, that one difference.
Though both millennials and Gen Z are very effective teachers,
Yes,
but
yes,
there's
absolutely.
difference lang. May mga difference lang tayong nako-consider, but I guess, and I know, both of you, all teachers, both millennials and Gen Z, are effective teachers to their learners. So I have some questions sa inyo ha, duha, na you guys hopefully na ma-answer nato with your through your whole honesty and your own experiences also, because here we want to hear your experiences because we our viewers are they want to to listen to the teacher's experience eh.
Yes.
Because before kayo naging teacher, naging student pa kayo. So now these questions, I know masasagot nyo to kasi teacher tayo eh.
Yes, yes.
So yeah. So question number 1. What subject do you teach and what do you love most about teaching? Let's start with you, Mama Kia.
Okay, so I am currently studying Bachelor of Secondary Education and majoring in mathematics. So here in MYLV is that I am a math teacher. So what I love the most about my job, which is teaching, is that really the students. Kasi having to impact meaningfully to my students is a big factor of why I love my job. Because I don't think that this profession have the same impact sa other professions. I'm not kanang wala na ko gigamay ang uban. Yes, I'm not comparing, but I think teachers are the first people to impact our lives, and also the first people to give us inspirations. Kasi I want to be a teacher because of also a teacher. So I think that's what I love the most about teaching. So making a difference. So as early as I think grade 1, so I knew that time that I am good at this subject. Kay kalit ako og pull out from the class because of MTOT challenge. So if you are familiar of that one, so that is mostly about math. And gi-pull out ra ko. So I think kanang motto ang kuan sa teacher nga good ko in math, that's why gipili ko na lang contestant. And then after nako ana nga competition, kay nagpadayon na gid na siya hantod sa junior high. So I think mao gid siya ang pinaka strongest suit gid nako.
So here in my LB, I'm actually teaching English, although I'm quite a bit flexible and in case they need me to teach some other subjects, but I would say my specialty is English. Actually, anything that is under the umbrella of arts, like for example, language, it is an art of language. So that's really my best suit, I'd say. And I don't know, it's a very interesting thing for me to teach that specific subject, English as a subject, because a lot of countries obviously uses that in terms of
Yes.
business related things. And majority of the communication that we use as a language is actually English, even internationally. So it's very useful of a language to be able to connect to a lot of people, even with a varied background.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. And also, fun fact, I actually did work as a call center agent. So that's why it actually helped me with me being very talkative and very opinionated in the job that I went to, along with teaching, because it's easy for me since my talkativeness is actually my puhunan. See, it helps me make the lesson for the day go smoothly, since I don't really have any reservations or like yeah when talking to any age.
So, Ma'am Jill, speaking of,
Yes.
let's go back to the topic. So, what are your tips or what are the tips that you could share na mabaga pud among nawong as teacher?
Well, since you did mention that you've noticed I'm very, I approach you first. I think one thing that you should keep in mind is just to be interested in people, in wanting to know people first and foremost, because that's actually what I feel whenever I approach people. Although I have my times wherein kaulaw pud ko, pero my mouth just runs. I don't know why. My mouth just runs, and sometimes it could be like some sort of gana siya, like gagawas, like continuous words lang without even any sense sometimes. Pero yes,
Like
kana ang
chika.
first. Kana ang
May mo
first.
chika. You one of your strength is to connect with people. No?
Yes.
So next question is, how old were you when you start teaching? Ito, ko Mama Kia. How old were you when you start teaching?
Actually, it started sa kanang dula-dula bitaw with the neighbors. And my neighbors are actually just my cousins. So every morning around 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. So ideal yan namin para maglaro outside. So mag-gather mi ana in one place. And we bring our school supplies. Kay bata ta, kanang pag before bitaw mag-school kay magdatag school supplies kay pasikat ang mga new
Yes.
pencil case. Kaya na. So I actually does that a lot every summer with my cousins, and in that event, no, kay ako mostly ang ga-take sa role as a teacher ganon. So gadula-dula mi ang teacher tas student. So ako ang kanang medyo that pasikat na igagaw. Oo. Kay early ko naka-learn og read and also to count. So ako ako usually ang gatudlo sa ilahan, no. So dito siguro nagsugod ang akong little teacher spirit in me, no. Yeah, within I think I'm 5 years old atato. Kay
So young.
yeah, kay at a very young age kay very informative ko. So ganan kay ko magtudlo. Nga na so kabantay mo anang kanang murag career guidance sa elementary.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Ang actually ang akong showcase ana nga career is teacher. So it started good when I was young. Then nahon lang dayon siya after kanang mag-volunteer bit ako sa tutorial sa among community. Especially in Makasandi kay dagan ang struggling with reading. So dito lang medyo nahon na dayon ang ako ang passion to teach good.
So, at the very young age, you knew to yourself that you'd become a teacher someday. Was there any time na nawala ang spirit na dili na ako mag-teacher, oy? Basing nawala ang ako ang drive to become a teacher. Kaya at the very young age, you're very sure na, okay, someday I'll become a teacher. But are there certain part of your life where that dream kanang dili na siya clear bitaw sa imo, like dili na siya vivid, dili na ako mag-teacher, basing kanina siguro na path ako. Was there any time?
Yes, actually there was kay I took up ABM in my senior high school because I thought na I belong yun sa business world. Kay adto pod na time is some factors pod ang kanang peer na ano nga ayo pag teacher kay gamay sweldo inga na and sayang ang ka-bright. That is the most common yun na remarks nila if mag-share ka nga mag-teacher ko ganon. So ilang yung remark ayo pag teacher kay sayang imong ka-bright kay gamay ra ang sweldo. So that's why medyo nagtake a toll dito. Nagtook a toll dito sa ako ang decision making. So that's why nag-ABM ko. Kaya since I think duol-duol ra pod siya sa akong kuan nga. Abi magid akong dagan math sa ABM. Unya actually more on analyzation de siya of monies ing ana. So dito dayon yung nag-ABM ko, I was fine in ABM but I wouldn't say nga I was satisfied in there. So murag wala kayo siya nag-grow sa ako
But good thing na nahanap mo rin yung drive or nakita ni mo balik ang spirit dito in
Ayan.
teaching. Kay, yeah, a lot of us, marag malihis ta og kanang life beta sa own, or sa own na malihis ta ni, kung marag namanggit tayo peer pressure pud sa una na, ay, basig
A lot
kuan
of
sa tong.
factors.
And also the pressure from our relatives and families mo na. The very common for the teacher na i-throw gid sa tuwa is gamay dog sweldo, kuan, but teachers are one of the best or noble gid siya na job. Okay, we will not be having some professional if there will be no teachers to teach them. So kailangan na to ilahi pod ato ang mindset, di ba, na teacher, yes, gamay os sweldo ang teacher sa nagamay og kuan because of the sa ato apong give na pod na sa to government, di ba, nato na. So that's why they need to prioritize more about in kuan, because yes, we will not be having successful people without teachers. So, you, Ma'am Jel, what age ka nag-start og tudlo?
If I remember correctly, around 18 or 19.
18.
It actually started, although akong mama Mongol is actually a teacher, so I kind of already have a background on how the teaching world goes. But like for myself, for a long time, I did not quite recognize that in myself, ang teaching skills nako, na later on pa na ako na-realize, oh my God, na it's really, I'm really aligned towards that path of career. But anyway, kanang nag-start ko ana, it started off as a summer job. Yes, as a summer job. So from then on, it actually, my patience actually got practice, how to adjust to different students. So syempre, dili, lahi-lahi man gud na sila pacing of understanding and pag-pick up sa lesson. So obviously, you as a teacher, you also have to adjust ang approach, how to talk to them, how to make it more fun for them, especially the little ones na I did handle.
Question is, asa ka nag-elementary sa una, ma'am? Are you from the public or private school sa elementary?
Elementary, I was in a public school.
And also yung Ma'am
from my
Akia.
hometown.
Are you from public or private school?
Public school din.
So, both of you are incumbent in public school. So, as millennial, ano nga may miss mo sa public school dati?
Namiss na ko ang kuan kanang kasaba sa mga papa.
Do you have the same table nga share mo sa imong classmate? Sa table tapos na doon butanganan na doon na sa
Sa
Oo, katong nag-equal. Yan.
kato na sa back ang desk.
yeah.
Like kuan na yes.
Mm.
Kasi ang sa imong lingkuranan kay ang sa likod ato kay na ay table na nila. So diyan na and then of the same time kato di ato ang blackboard bitaw tong tingtak dito sa chalk.
Yes. Na it's actually very bad for your health.
Yeah. Pero kung sa naa sa imuha sa una Ma'am Jill sa imong pag-study or sa imong kuan nga wala na gina-practice karon sa mga Gen Z or sa inyo sa una
The
nga
practice of studying.
the in school or in general in practice of studying.
Oh, I mean, generally speaking, same naman gihapon ang teacher gahatag og lesson, gatudlo og lesson, and then i-take in sa students. But now, I think during my time, students were more evidently just taking in the lesson
Yeah.
rather than putting a more individualistic input into their projects and
Yeah.
such. Like in comparison today, mas naay freedom man gud ang mga students to incorporate how they will approach the certain project given. So, to.
Ikaw, Ma'am Akiao, what do you think if nakita nimo sa ilang generation nga dili na ninyo gina-practice sa inyong generation ato na time to elementary pa ka?
I think if I could remember properly is kana bitong paper and pen na ano gyud sa lessons kay ang sa ila gid na time is dili pa kayo uso ang computers. Yes,
that's
oo.
true.
And then sa mo nga time kay at a very young age at elementary kay kabalo na may og navigate og computers.
Oh.
So if naami lessons, computers, ganon, dili na kayo magpatabang sa parents. Mao
Yes.
pod ako na notice, mas dependent na mi online.
Mm.
Nga na kay elementary pa lang kay kabalo na mag-navigate sa mga dula, kung saan pag-search sa
Yes.
Google, which I think is good, but at the same time kay it became a disadvantage pod sa among generation.
Yes,
Kay
kay
mas
there are a lot
na-prone
of
og-
there's a lot of students who got distracted by
Yes.
Yeah.
by it, diba?
And the dangers of internet is very
Rampant.
rampant,
Rampant.
and exactly the word. So dagan gid kayo og kanang supposedly not kanang friendly sa among age nga ma-open na mo, yeah.
Of course.
So yeah, that's why one pud na sa problem nga nakita gid nako ang effect in the long run sa amoa nga
Oh.
mas dagan sa amoa ang dili kabulog basa.
Yes.
Yes, and
Mm.
kanang mas dagan pud sa amoa ang kanang kuan gyud dependent gyud sa internet. So
yes,
yeah.
of course. So now, bakita gyud nato na though dili kay big but naa gyud difference ang ato ang life from the millennial and then from the Gen Z. Ako ba, I'm 23 years old. Asa ko na scope belong? I'm Gen Z ba ko or sa millennial ba ko?
If
Gen
I'm-
Z.
Gen Z. Because
Gen Z.
if I remember correctly, the last year for you to be considered as a millennial is 1995. Anything beyond that is Gen Z.
So if you're 1995 and you born ka in 1995 or 1994,
Mm.
you're considered as millennial.
Yes.
And then you're born 1994 and above, Gen Z na ka.
Yeah.
It almost feels
Oh.
like
Um,
my year when I was born is almost like a transition since nabtan na akong traditional and nabtan po na ako ang pagsulod sa mga computers and mga
Okay.
gadgets sa
Mm.
kwan. So, I've seen the good and the bad effects
Yeah.
of both worlds actually.
Okay. So, Mama Kia, in connection with your answer kanina na you were open and then was introduced sa computer in a very young age. So, this question is for the both of you. You answer it first, Ma'am Jill. Do you prefer classic teaching tools like whiteboard, flashcards, or modern ones like are they old ones like the whiteboards, the blackboards, flashcards, or you consider or must prefer the new ones like the Google Classroom, the quizzes, or the Kahoot?
Kahoot, yeah,
Kahoot,
Kahoot. Pick one lang.
Yeah, you should pick
Ah.
one.
Kasi if I'm gonna answer that, in all honesty, to myself, a little bit of both. But since you said na isa lang, I think I would lean more on the traditional, the classic approach because one, it's not forever na naay electricity. Like, if you think about it in a practical sense, it's not forever na natay electricity. So what's the point of having the internet? However, there are also bad things and good. But anyway, later on, I will add on to that. I chose the classic approach kasi one, kung ako lang on preference na ako, I would prefer to actually look at the students like in person kasi I would be able to immediately address if makita na ako, manotice na ako, galisod man ni siya, gakuan man, in comparison kung mag-online ko or mugamit ko other kwan without the
yeah.
need of the face-to-face na approach, maglisod ko assess kung okay ba ni siya, gatanaw ra ba ni siya sa kwan, another tab, kung well
Yes, kana
me,
yun.
nagyayana. So, yeah, I would most probably be more heavily inclined sa
How about you, Mama
traditional.
Chia? What do you prefer?
Okay, so with all honesty, no, although I am from the Gen Z, mas effective yun ang traditional. So the flashcards, the blackboards, the whiteboards. Kasi for me, it caters most the needs of the students, especially that we have different learning styles. So na mga visual learners, mga kinetic learners. So, katong gyud siya, kay mas interactive siya for me. Rather than katong online lang nga, bitaw, quizzes, like the Kahoot. Kay me personally kay sa among school, kay Kahoot mangyapon me, and also the traditional pod me, kana instructional materials to be exact. So for me, mas interactive gyud ang traditional and mas effective gyud ang retention sa information and sa knowledge if katong traditional. So that's where I'm coming from siguro sa akong opinion nga I much prefer the traditional gyud.
Yeah, because I myself, I'm a teacher, then I teach online, and also I teach face-to-face. There's a big difference talaga when you teach online kasi when we will be having a quiz online, I don't know that if my students will open another tab or will search it to other searching platforms, diba? So
unless
there's
kay tracker or
yeah, because when you apply it through face to face, you can handle anyone, diba? Everyone sa class mo. So you can look over them.
Yes.
So there's a big difference when you say classic or modern way of teaching it. So, but I know that though our modern platforms are effective, but we must say that those traditional ones are much effective. And also, my students would prefer face-to-face. Also, my students would prefer face-to-face, especially for their exams and their quizzes. Because I myself, I am a product of online classes because way back in 2020 and in 2023, we are locked down, diba? Yes. So we make our lessons in online. So sometimes I am a student, nagsisearch talaga ako sa ibang platform. So I will not sugarcoat and I will tell this whole honesty that my temptations talaga when you say online class.
Yes,
my temptations
especially
na
if
nangyayari.
difficult ang items.
Yes, especially if difficult an items. And then, there's certain part of myself where I rely mostly on internet. Hindi na ako nagko-construct ng own thoughts ko. I search it in the internet, copy it, paste it. So, wala akong nalalaman. Hindi ko na alam yung topic namin kasi iba na yung sumagot. And then, I just pass it to, for me na may masubmit lang. Not bita na I make it for me to be knowledgeable enough for me to get informations about this. No. So there's positive and negative impact of having face-to-face, having online class rather than face-to-face class. Because we should consider back din na online class kasi pandemic eh. But now, some of the parents and also the students would prefer face-to-face rather than the online class. So let's cut with our seriousness. So let's play a game. Are you ready to play a game, ma'am?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go! Ano yan? Hindi ko rin alam.
Apat.
Four sisters and a marriage.
4 sisters and a wedding.
Ano, marriage.
Four sister in a wedding. Tama! K-pop group. 3, 2, 1, go!
Lan. Momolan.
Momoland. Tama nga ba? Tama! Oh my God. Nakadlock si Ma'am. Mas, kay Akiya because Momoland is, mas sumikat sila sa panahon.
Wait, grabe,
Next category is financial market. 3, 2, 1, go!
Philippine.
Philippine stocks. Exchange.
Tama! Basta pera ang pag-uusapan.
Mele.
Eto, superhero.
Superheroes!
Alam ko yan. 3, 2, 1, stop. That Mindanao?
Captain Marvel? Yeah.
Captain Marvel! Tama. So, 3 and 1. Habol-habol tayo, ma'am. Next category is
Filipino artist.
Filipino artist. 3, 2, 1, go!
Angel Locsin.
Next category is
TV
shows.
Sala.
3, 2, 1, go!
I Can See Your Voice.
Wow! Tama! 4, 2. 4-2 na tayo ngayon. Hahabol pa ba ang millennial si Gen Z? Makikita natin sa pagbabalik ng... Last category is...
No!
Movie. 3, 2, 1, go! Sino yan? Huh?
Clown.
Gifts.
How many lady? How many lady?
Clown Money.
Chinese? Okay.
Rich Asian.
Okay! Tama! Crazy Rich Asian. So, ang nagwagi ay Mama Kia. Let's give her a big round of applause. Now, let's cut with the excitement. Let's go back to the main purpose of our conversation here. So, eto, iibahin natin yung question. So, uuna tayo kay Ma'am Akiya. Ma'am Akiya, do you prefer learning through online or face-to-face and why?
If learning yung pag-uusapan, no, I would always prefer face-to-face. Kasi during face-to-face, I could ask the teacher directly, no, if I have concerns and also questions. Meanwhile, in online, kasi ano magud na, kanalason, di ba yun na. And then you can't just interrupt your teacher in an instance yun. And also, mas interactive yun ang face-to-face. Kay, learning in face-to-face is, mas ma-feel mo ang imong teacher kay naara man gyud siya sa imong atubangan. But if online, and also I'm a product of katong pandemic, no, na student. So, I tend to check my phone gyud while during class. Kaya dili man gud makita. So, dili ra pud ko
Teacher won't be aware.
yeah, of what I'm doing. So, divided gid kayo ang focus when online. That is why I will always prefer good face-to-face.
Question. Sa experience mo na nag-online ka dati o sa una, was there any time nga you did your class, you enter your class, but at the same time, gumagawa ka ng ibang bagay? Like for example, not just browsing on your phone because nandun ka na sa phone mo. Like for example, you're having a class, and at the same time, you're cleaning your room, you're eating, you're chit-chatting with your friends. So, was there any time na like that?
Actually, ang wala gid ko nakalisten because ako'y ginadung others kay my family and I, of course, kay nangaligo mig dagat. So, naara ko sa online class. But naligo ra kong dagat, nagtampisaw ra ko. So, unya dugay pagid ko naka-exit sa call adto kay dugay ko nakabalik sa cottage. So, nagbalik na ko kay nag-anda ang class. So, halata ra kayo nga.
In my own experience also, I had my class in online dati, and then that was morning, and then I entered the class and I go to sleep again. And I woke up, kami na lang dalawa ng teacher ko yung natira sa meeting. Like, Mr. Anyedes, are you still there? Are you still with me? And then I was like, rushing to end this call. And then, yeah, may difference talaga sa online. But, hindi natin alam, may mga student pa rin prefer yung online. Yan, may student pa rin prefer yung face-to-face. Hindi natin alam. But, on your own POV, point of view, saan ka mas gusto? Face-to-face or online? You, Ma'am Jill,
Yeah.
ibahin natin yung question. Do you prefer teaching online or face-to-face?
Teaching face-to-face.
Why so?
Kasi, in relation to what Ma'am Akia said, although learning sa IAHA, kanang ma-address man good immediately if na ay concern si student, and mas ma-feel ni student ang presence of the teacher in comparison kung online na siya. Kasi in online, it's very easy for the student to get distracted in comparison sa face-to-face na look over nimo, mapanimo ang student.
What's your stand on blended learning?
It's a good thing. It's a good thing when used properly and used effectively. Kasi depende man good na sa teachers pod asa sila mas comfortable and asa mas appropriate ng certain lesson if online ba or
Face-to-face.
face-to-face. So yeah, we have to keep that in mind. But yeah, both. It's very useful.
So, may kaibahan talaga yung pag-teach natin through online and to learn through online and face-to-face. So, maybe there are some students who will prefer face-to-face and some students who prefer online. Especially for the working students, right?
Yes.
They prefer online since they could do their duties and do their responsibilities as a student and at the same time do their responsibility as an employee. Because di nila nakukuha yung 100% ng time nila if face-to-face. Because when you say face-to-face, all your attention, all your time must be in school.
Yes.
Hindi natin ma-divide natin yung time natin. So, yung online,
Also,
nakaka-give din ng, yes.
May mga teachers that are quite strict that they want their students to be extremely present within sa classroom. They don't really allow for them to like probably request na half na ako, the other half na ako somewhere else pero online kasi of course, lisod man sad sa ilang part since one versus a few numbers of students.
If during that time, during sa inyong time to nahitabo ang online class, no, what do you think will be the effect?
Well, I'm not sure if everybody saw that parang article na there's a lot of students that don't know how to read properly or comprehend the mga texts that are given to them. It greatly affects even in relation to the teachers that we produce. Because if online siya, again, there's no dili siya first hand man good na ginakuan sa teacher, gina-cater sa teacher, which is very important because again, you have to be able to decipher ang different strengths and weaknesses sa students nimo within the classroom, and you cannot possibly do that online. And that's why we have more and more like maybe teachers that are not very fit to teach because of the quality of education that they've had. Which is important kasi domino effect bitaw na. You produce teachers, they teach in the classroom. If they don't know how to teach the student would also find a hard time to be able to proceed to another level. So yeah, it's very important.
So now we're talking about the difference between Gen Z and millennials. So I've read this news online that yung mga cum laude and mga magna cum laude, summa cum laude, they say that mas maraming nagkakalatin honors sa mga Gen Z ngayon because people believe that Gen Zs rely more on internet, um, AI, do you think that it has effect in um, their stand as a student with Latin honor, graduate as Latin honor, and then was it unfair for the previous your generation, like the millennial generation, where they finished their studies or college without AI? So do you think, are there any difference, yung Mama Kia, as Gen Z, dapat nating i-refine yung educational cat or something, mga yes natin sa, especially when we are getting Latin honors sa mga graduating students.
Yeah, for that question, I think it's not a good thing na i-invalidate natin
Yes.
yung achievements
Yes.
ng generation natin today, because all of the generations actually work hard for what they had when they graduated. So it's just that mas naanay assistance today, and it's not a bad thing actually.
Yes.
We should not look at this as a threat,
Yes.
and we should take this as a challenge siguro, ganon, na although we are much assisted by the internet, by AI to be specific,
Mm.
but also we could still refine the quality of the teachers specifically. And also, it's never easy, no, na maging Latin honors,
Yes.
especially in I think I saw this article then, and yeah, and it is a very prestigious school.
University.
And for me, if I am a Latin honor of that school, and then people questioned why I become a Latin honor, so for me it's not a good thing to hear, yun. Yeah.
It's not
And-
good to compare.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because when you say generation, your generation and this generation of yours, it's really different because may mga resources na.
Yeah.
So the student will use that resources.
Yeah.
Yes, resources.
Na,
alone.
nasa harapan na nila yung resources but
Yeah.
hindi na nila gamitin.
Mm.
Yes.
But if you na-introduce sa inyo yung platform na yun, you would still use that
Yeah.
instrument or tool, di ba? Like, for example, the AI.
Yes.
The AI was introduced by, mas nakilala siya ngayon sa mga generation ng Gen Z. So, mas nagagamit ng mga generation namin yung AI. And then we will apply it to our studies. However, hindi pa man siya na introduce
That time.
dati. So, walang nakakagamit doon. So,
Yes.
we rely on our resources, and as much as possible, nakarely naman tayo ng resources, may resources na tayo sa AI. So, as much as possible, we use it. And we should not, yes, tama, we should not invalidate the efforts and at the same time, the academic achievements of these students, because these students work really hard in order for them to get the things that they want.
Yes. And like you've said, there's no need to compare
Mhm.
because benchmark alone, you cannot compare something that is non-existent from the previous na generation. Like for instance, it's a very beautiful thing that students right now have the access, or like Mama Kia said, sa AI, which gives them more some sort of convenience and medium to showcase themselves more
Yeah.
in terms of academic. But like for us in our generation, although we already have a little bit of access to computer and such, internet, it was not as refined
Yeah.
as today. But still, it was a great help to us kasi we don't need to, you know,
Compare.
have such a hard time going to the library,
Yeah.
looking for each and
Books.
every book, especially kung thesis
Yes.
part. Kasi that's very, very hard because how will you possibly find a book? Lisod man gud siya. Like, for example, let's base it sa book in terms of thesis. You have an actual book. Obviously, through time, ang quality of the book as is will disintegrate. So, obviously, ang text niya dili na as klaro. So, it actually helps for people to have the
Copy.
copy, like PDF and such, for people to have access to, kay at least ma-retain ang informations there. So, yeah.
I love this conversation. I love the throwing off ideas and opinions. So, next question is, what do you think is the biggest difference between how Gen Z and your generation millennials teachers approach the classroom? You first, Ma'am Jill.
Okay. This is more inclined to the law that is more emphasized right now in terms of teaching. Before, teaching as a profession is very, I'm not going to say it's not commendable right now, but again, due to the quality of the teachers that we have right now, maybe there's some sort of a fluctuation sa how people look at teaching as a profession. So teachers before, obviously, they're very well respected. Obviously, they can, do some things that they cannot do right now in terms of handling students, especially students that are not very, how do I put it, kanang dili ga behave as desired inside the classroom. Right now, you cannot just, shout at students. And obviously, I'm not saying that's a good thing before. It's never good to like do that to a student because you're not incorporating motivation for them to learn if you're gonna do that. But what I'm saying is that because we don't have any more, there are less ways for teachers to be a little bit more firm to their students since they're quite the law alone is very strict right now in terms in handling them. It's also kind of hard to have it, really dig in sa ilang brain and ilang embody ang mga kasi we don't just teach the subject as is. We are also teaching values to them every day. The things that they probably did not quite pick up solidly sa balay, kita man na ang follow up sa ilaha, how to say thank you, etiquette, basic hygiene, and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay, how about you, Mama Kia? What do you think is the biggest difference between how Gen Z and millennials approach the classroom?
So I think this question is a little similar to the first question, no? But this time it's about the approach. I think the Gen Z are more into this is the gentle parenting. Yeah, so as teachers, we're also parents inside the classroom. So Gen Zs are tends to be more gentle gyud kasi we ang Gen Z I believe kay nakawala na gyud sa shackles of generational traumas.
Yes.
We know what will happen if we will just do this to our students. So like what Ma'am Jill said kanina. So that's why we are much more sensitive and gentle within our students and classroom. And also, I think that although dili kayo siya layo sa millennials, no? Kaya I'll also observe yun na some millennials teachers yun are very gentle po yun silang words like that and also silang actions. But I think kay mas na-emphasize siya with the Gen Z nga teachers. Kay mas closer magid silang ages. So mas duol sila og kanang emotions and feelings with their students. So that's why they are more gentle gyud kay they still see their students no nga kanang sibling nila nga na so they should not kanang do this and do that.
And actually, millennial teachers have Gen Z children.
Yes.
So that's why may effect talaga yung pagiging mother ng Gen Z and you being a millennial because you're learning from your children. You're learning from your child. That's why siguro na-absorb ng parents even though that they came from trauma, that they came from this kind of setup, but then bringing another life and then bringing mas sensitive na ta because of our children.
Yes.
'Di ba? So na-apply natin 'yan sa ating school because we have children na Gen Z and you being millennial.
Yeah. And also, in addition to that, there's more sense of introspection in today's generation. I think it's safe to say that the millennial did open that pathway for the preceding generations to continue because obviously the prior generations before the millennial they stick to tradition too much. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing to follow tradition. We should ground ourselves in tradition, but there are some practices within our tradition that is not applicable to how things are today.
Oh,
So that's why we should also be open to be flexible in things.
So yeah, we are now in our last question, guys. I really enjoyed the conversation, huh? I've learned a lot from Gen Z. Even though that I am Gen Z, I've learned something new from the perspective of other people, of other
Yes.
teacher. And you, Mom Jill, this is our last question.
Yes.
This question is for the both of you. Of course, if you could improve just one part of teaching today, big or small, huh?
Mhm.
What would it be and why?
Who will go first?
You, Mom Jill.
Me. One thing that I would probably, if I could,
Yes.
change something is the quality of education and the teachers. Because again, like I've said a while ago, it's a domino effect for everybody
Yes.
when it comes to educating people. Because whatever your profession may be, you need a teacher to teach you how to do things.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's one thing that I'd say.
How about you, Mama Kia? If you could change one thing, big or small?
If I could change something good, it's the environment good. Okay, I want every students, not just here in the Philippines, but all over the world good. Okay, this is what the government owes the students good, a good environment to learn. So yes, that's one thing that I would want to change good.
Oh my God, I've learned a lot of things today. Thank you so much for your time here, Mom Akia and Mom Jill.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, so even though that they came from the different generations, Millennial and Gen Z, we learned a lot from them. If you'd enjoyed this episode, please like our page, our Instagram, our Facebook account, and our YouTube account. Here in screen, makikita nyo sa screen namin. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you've learned something today. And I hope na susupport nyo pa rin kami sa aming next episode dito sa
Yes.
Learning Lounge by My Learning Venue. So see you guys next time and have a great day ahead.
Bye.
Goodbye. Thank you. Bye.